times are different.
Yeah.
And I'm dealing with inner city kids. Who knows what they're dealing with outside of school, and they're choosing to come in whatever battles they're sympathetic, empathetic as possible. But I don't. Women already have it hard. Women are already at the bottom of the totem pole, and the moment you allow someone to make an excuse for you, they will. Basketball IQ through the roof. The way that heard it again, tried to shake it off, heard it again, to the point where I had to get like a full reconstruction. If it wasn't for one of my high school coaches, you're like being depressed and lazy, stop feeling sorry for yourself, come help me coach. I'm like, man, I don't want to coach. I think the fashion brings a certain femininity to the game, because for a long time, women associated with sports, you get a certain stereotype, and there's no secret to that. And I think now, like, girls can wear like lashes and they can do stuff to kind of present a femininity that back then kind of wasn't conducive to the game. I don't think that you have to dumb down your femininity just because you're playing a sport.
So you think like somebody had this in order from the beginning?
Make the style go a certain way, but then how I just, at the end of the day, people still got their own coaching styles, right? Welcome to Game Related, where we highlight opportunities and obstacles from former athletes with the thought process of giving future generations a better understanding about the game. These conversations are meant to bring awareness to the hardships and opportunities that come along with the game. Let's get game related. All right, y'all, we back with another episode. Man, I think this is like episode 40, man. I know, right? Yeah, man. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. For sure. All right, y'all. So we got Coach Bree in the building. Very excited for this one. We're gonna talk to her about her basketball journey. You know how last year, at Dunbar they won the championship. This year, not so well. We're gonna figure out why, right? And we're gonna get into her coaching on the men's side, and then just understanding the differences. And then we're gonna talk about women's sports in general. So welcome to the show.
No, how you doing?
Welcome. Good. So I want to get right into it, right? This year you didn't have a good season, probably from your standards. What do you think you could have done better? What did you learn from this situation?
Well, this is my second year head coaching. I mean, I was a head coach for a semi-pro women's team, but it's kind of different when it comes to maturity and the knowledge of the game. So I was in a rebuilding year. I had one senior, I had like 4 freshmen, and I had like 3 girls that never played. They just was like, I want to, Coach Bree, I want to play for you. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I think we did pretty good for not having the maturity that the other teams had, kind of stepping into a rebuilding year right after such a profound first year that I had. We made it to playoffs. We did. We made a lot of noise in aspects like, there are no disrespect, but there are coaches that have been in that league for years that didn't do what we were able to accomplish. My second year. So I think for a group of girls that were raw, that are coming from a middle school, that don't really have a pipeline to help them transition from middle school to high school, I think we did pretty good. I mean, I'm not too upset. I mean, they bought in, they wanted to play. That's the difference. They asked to play. It's not like I was like, who wants to try out? They came to me. So I think that was important too, to us being so successful. And we had a couple nail biters. I mean, other than our private school teams that we were playing, I mean, we were only losing by like 4 or 1 or 2, with like huge milestones of like having over 12 turnovers, over 10 missed free throws. So if you just take the trials and tribulations of, this is like a year of learning what to do, I think like next year they know what to expect, so they're not kind of blindsided. I think we dealt with like arena fright. Like they were like, oh my God, like, Coach Bree, how come the rims aren't attached to the ceiling? I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, I know how this is gonna go. So just to weather all of those things that as freshmen they probably didn't experience in their 8th grade year, 7th grade year. I don't know. I think we did pretty good. I mean,
I love that perspective. You took a situation, I feel like mentally you had to change your mindset from championship team to okay rebuilding, right? What were some of the I guess principles that you felt like you instilled on the kids to help build their confidence?
Um, just I was trying to teach him like ego
Mm.
in like a humble confidence way. Like you guys have to like step on the court and just like you ain't better than me. You kind of have to have that mentality, whether you believe it or not. She don't know what you about to do.
Uh-huh.
So if you just present yourself like what, like it changes the game a little bit. Like if you walk into the game with confidence, like and you have a certain perception about yourself,
Hmm.
it don't matter. Like fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like she don't know how good you are. She don't know what you're bringing to the table. As long as you have this demeanor, like you ain't scoring 10 on me or you ain't scoring 15 on me, which I think some of them embraced a lot. They were like, oh, okay. And they would go out there like, and then they would get a rebound and look at me and I'm like, yes, this is good. Like, or they would dive on the floor and look over. I'm like, yes, this is good. And then learning that it taught me like, which, as I get deeper into coaching, how to adjust my coaching style per personality.
Mm.
So like we grew up, the coach was get your on the line, da 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 da. We just had to like, okay, we were scared to ask for water. Kind of,
Hmm.
it built a type of animal in us, but times are different,
Yeah.
And I'm dealing with inner city kids. Who knows what they're dealing with outside of school, and they're choosing to come in whatever battles they're dealing with. So this year taught me. I mean, I stepped into a winning program. I
Mm.
just think I fine tuned some things,
Okay.
adjust some things, and I opened the door of opportunity. Like if these schools weren't looking at you before, I'm gonna put you in the stage for them to look at you now. And I didn't take that as an L. I took that as you just need the right people to put you in the situation. Because there are some girls in the inner city that deserve to play for high powered institutions because they just are natural like that.
Uh,
So this year, I learned to adjust my coaching style based off of the group of girls I had. Because I had girls that just wanted to play, to have fun. And I had to remember, like, you don't want to go to college for this. So let me not chew you out a little bit because you're not taking this so serious. And then I
yeah.
had to remind the girls that are taking this serious, like, you have to always keep a level head and remember what you're trying to do. Remember the goal, not the mood. So
Mm.
because you're playing on a team where some of your teammates don't want to go to college, don't lower your standard. You keep trying to get better. So I had to design practices that were based off of skill level. Like you're gonna go down here with one coach and you're just gonna do mic and layups because you don't know what to do. You're gonna come over here with one coach and we're just gonna work on ball handling. And then there would be players with me who I worked with skill development because they just knew how to do certain stuff. So it just taught me to kind of like broaden my coaching style and not be so one dimensional. Like not assume that everyone is on this just because I'm right here. So
Yeah. Now that's
if that
good.
makes sense, yeah.
It was two things you said I really loved. I think you said adjust to the goal, not your move. Is that what you just said?
Oh, you gotta remember the goal, not the mood.
Right. I think that's in life. You know what I mean? You run into situations, it's just like, man, I don't feel like it. But
Mm-hmm.
like consistency doesn't look like 100% all the time. It might be 30% one day, 50% one day, 80%. But when you look at it, that compound, you're able to achieve your goal versus I ain't gonna do nothing because I don't feel like it. So I love that. And then just adjusting to your talent, that's pretty cool. Next question I wanted to ask you was Coach Prime. We talked to him behind the scenes, and he was just talking about the lack of resources in the DCIAA committed to the women's program. You know, is that something that you feel strongly about as well? And what could we do to change that?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to talk bad about what I don't know what's happening behind the scenes from women's basketball prior to me stepping into this
Mm-hmm.
role here in Dunbar. And coming from college, coming from like Baltimore, a lot of my coaching career took place there. So who knows what's going on in the inner city? But I'm a fresh face,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And like I said, I don't know what's in the works, but to know that there's not a funnel system for the young women like there is men. Like there's they're like trying to create a freshman team, and then you have a JV team, but there's no type of talks for that for women. And then you hear comments like, well, you need to recruit high quality IQ players. No, there are raw, talented young girls here, but there isn't a system to help them prepare for the next level. So they're coming from a middle school league where they're playing like 10 games. You know, like you're like 13, 12. We all know how that league is. And then you're asking girls who are 12, 13, however old they are, to step into high school and play against a 17, 18-year-old. And I get it. College is like that too. But there's a funnel system for that. Like they'll redshirt a freshman if she's not ready, but they see the potential. We just have to take what we have and then be crucified if it doesn't look aesthetically appealing to the ideal. They treat DCIAA like it's the Big East. But then you get crucified if you don't have the right talent or the pieces don't look that well sharpened. And it's just like, well, you didn't give me a sharpener.
Right.
You just gave me the pencil, and now I'm like trying to sharpen it myself. So like there was just things that I dealt with that I just felt like because of Title IX, we're like bare minimum. Like we're gonna do the bare minimum for Title IX. We're gonna include you because that's what we have to do. But like there would be situations that like I couldn't get a bus for stuff because I didn't have a JV. So they didn't want to pay that money to just take us to the game for an hour.
Wow.
Because, well, it don't make sense. Like we might as well do 2 for 1. But because I don't have that funnel system, I always got the short end of the stick. So I just find that like not fair. Like we would get buses by accident because the boys' tournaments wouldn't happen like they were supposed to. Then we would get a phone call, we got a bus for y'all. We're like, oh, you do? Oh. No, the underlying thing was the boys' tournament got canceled. So we already paid for it. So do y'all want it?
Yeah.
So it's just like things like that I felt weren't fair. Like, how can you not provide me the resources, but you don't provide a funneling system for me to be prosperous? So you're not going to give me buses. You're not going to give me a lot of money. You're not going to do this. Like, okay, well, so for instance, we want to play St. Andrews at Dunbar. That's a great thing for DCIAA.
Great opportunity.
For a ISL, I think they're in the ISL, to come to Dunbar and play. That's great money. That's great. Like, and if it's done the right way, well, there's only one game. We don't want to pay the refs, so you're going to have to try to move the game. It was things like that I was just very disheartening because it's just like you asked me to come in here and take from where I came from and apply it here, but no one's willing to eat at the same table to make those sacrifices for it to happen. So like I said, I don't know what's in the talks and I don't know what's in the works, but I think me and Coach Prime started at the same time. We've been here 2 years in this high school thing. So if he sees it, of course I see it, and just coming from other systems where you can see women are actually, the programs are actually treated equally, like, or I get comments like, well, I mean, y'all just gonna win anyway. Oh, the league isn't that good anyway. So, so what? It doesn't matter if the league's not these young girls that need the same opportunity. Like that's how we're gonna create more girls wanting to be interested in it. Like they need to go on these trips like that. Like there's no pitch for young girls to want to play basketball. They're just kind of doing it because of logistics. Like, oh, they won, so I want to go here. Not, they really help the women's program. They're really trying to get these girls into college. You got girls wanting to play for these schools because of the hype and it looked good.
Okay.
Now
that makes sense. Definitely want to put some resources behind that for sure. So tell me, what should a player expect from Coach Bree? And what are you expecting from players?
Well, I'm honest and I'm straightforward. And I'm a woman, so there's nothing that you can get past me that I'm not already dealing with.
Mhm.
Oh, my head hurt, girl. Mine too. So get on mine. Oh, breathe, Mother Nature. Yep, I get it too. I don't know what day, but let's go. Get on the line. So it's just, I'm just very upfront. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter too. So I get it. You know, I try to be as relatable, sympathetic, empathetic as possible, but I don't, women already have it hard. Women are already at the bottom of the totem pole. And the moment you allow someone to make an excuse for you, they will.
Mm.
So I'm like, I'm not making no excuses for you guys because I don't want nobody to make no excuses for you. And you shouldn't let no one else make an excuse for you. So I'm here with you, 6 o'clock. I'm tired too. I ain't even comb my hair. Let's go. Let's get on the line, you know. Just very transparent, very honest. I'm very honest with the parents. Like, I don't know. I'm not like a yeller. I've never been, that's not in my characteristic, but I will pull you to the side and be like, so, what play is this? What were you supposed to do? Thank you. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Okay.
Because I know as women, we're very emotional. And if you yell at us and we're looking around, that's embarrassment. And now we're going to shut down. And now we're going to be emotional. And now we care more about what people think is happening. We lose sight of what the goal is because we're stuck in our mood. Mm-hmm. And now we can't dial ourselves back in to win the game because we're upset because of the way people were looking at me being yelled at by my coach. And back then we had to just take it. We were built different, but like I said, we're different now. Like even my daughter, and my daughter has helped me learn a lot too. Like I'll say something and she'll be looking at me and I'll be like, can you go? She'd be like, yes, mom, I got you. I'm like, okay, I get it. Because you're trying to figure out where that energy came from too. Girl, I don't know. So I'm kind of the same way with my players. And I always try to explain with them like, I'm a girl and I get it. Today's Tuesday and I'm mad. No one did nothing to me. It's just Tuesday. It's just Tuesday and I ain't feeling it. Like I get that. Like I woke up and I'm pissed off, but no one did nothing to me. So
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad
I just try to be so realistic to the fact that like I'm a girl. Like at heart I'm a girl too, you know. So I don't try to blow past any of that. Yeah. And I always try to just like, you know what? It's one of I think I did it with one of my girls. I said, it's one of them Tuesdays, and she rolled her eyes. I said, okay, well, guess what? You go home because I can't get 100% out of you today, which means it's going to be a ripple effect with everyone, and we're going to try again tomorrow. And that's kind of like the system that I have. And then they'll come back tomorrow like Tuesday never happened. And I'm like, well, what happened? I couldn't find my phone. It's just like things that just trigger, and it's not even that deep. Oh, but it's just if you have that safe space to be vulnerable like that, and you could be relatable. I think that's what's kind of helped me in this journey, and I think that that's what you can expect from me. I'm just real down to earth and just like, okay, it's Tuesday, you know. So
I'm just thinking, I got a daughter. She's 6, right? And she'll be 7 next month. And everything that you're talking about, I'm like, oh. Like she be giving us little twos coming out of nowhere. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And she'd be like, my drawing not the right way. And I'm like, why is this bothering you like that? And sometimes I just be like, come here, I'll just give you a hug. You know? So I felt that.
It's real.
So I know you said, as far as your previous experience when that was at Coppin State, right? So talk about how that experience at Coppin State, and that was with the men's basketball team. What did you learn from that experience? And just kind of talk about that experience that you had there.
So a lot of people don't know that I was actually at Coppin State 3 years prior on the women's side. Okay. So I left JUCO. I coached CCBC X6. I left the JUCO side and got an opportunity with the women's side. So I was an assistant coach with the women's side first.
Oh, okay.
But then the coach got fired and Coach Harper came in.
Okay.
And I kind of helped with Coach Harper. And then when she got her people in there and got settled, I was at the end of my master's program and I needed like hours to finish my culminating project. And it just so happened I was working compliance at Coppin.
Okay.
So my first time coaching ever was a strictly volunteer position on the women's side. Got to the end of my master's. I always planned to just stay there, finish my master's, and leave. So it's just the alignment of how I got to the part where I needed hours and I needed like admin work. I was working compliance. They just got the money for the men's side to have a dobo. At the time, Coach and his wife were like, there was a woman coach here before. Even my godmother, who was the compliance officer, Stephanie Reddy was there. So it wasn't unheard of for me to jump on there and kind of take on that, which I'm like, okay, shoot, I can finish my master's. I get to stay. I just moved here. I get to stay here. So I kind of jumped into that after coaching on the women's side. And then I was the director of basketball operations for them, which helped me complete the rest of my culminating project for my master's.
Okay.
So that's kind of how the alignment happened with that. Was just a blessing because I'm like, oh, wow, I get to be on the guy side, I'm like, and doing the Dobo stuff was good for me too, because now I had actually been at all levels of this basketball journey. So
when you say Dobo, that's Director of Basketball Operations, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that they know.
Oh yeah, Director of Basketball Operations. So I uniforms, hotels, lodging, expenses. Like I was like, wow, I didn't know that there was a job for someone, like that's their job to ensure the perfection and all that, I'm like, oh gosh, but it was great. So to kind of answer the question, like joining the men's staff just took my basketball IQ through the roof. The way that men play basketball is just so simple. Like it's just natural to them, and like the language. I'm like, what's that? And they're like, P&R. I'm like, P&R. I'm like, what? And I'm watching, but they moving so fast, I could not. They're like, pick and roll, girl. Just keep up, pick and roll. I'm like, oh, So I was learning stuff like that, and I'm like, why don't we just say P&R? On women's side, I'm like, it's just so simple, but it just elevated my mindset when it came to basketball, like the terminology, how they broke down practice, like how they did film, like how they scouted, which just added to like my brain resume, which I was like, I always knew I wanted to be a head coach, but I felt like after joining that men's staff for those 2-3 years, I was like, oh, I'm ready to go now. So my first year, we ran a 5-out offense. We ran the Sacramento Kings offense, and it worked. And people were like, what the heck? I'm like, yeah, you don't watch the NBA. I know you didn't know that. Like it was just crazy. Like our defense, like I took a college basketball's defense, like men's side defense, like the defense that we ran, like shrink the floor. I'm like, shrink the floor. I could see the coaches looking at me like, what's she talking about? But it was just shrinking get big, put your hands up and make the floor look a little tiny, like don't keep the mid, like it just elevated my game. And then the girls were like calling the plays like pistol. They were running a pistol. Like they were like, okay, boom. And then on film, I'm like, that don't look sweet. Like it look good. So it just helped elevate my basketball IQ joining them. And I was just a dobo. I wasn't just a coach. So a lot of my journey was just observing and listening and watching. And I would be in there like taking pictures like, oh, that don't look good. So of course, why wouldn't I take that with me to Dunbar? Like, why wouldn't I take what I've learned, which helped me for when I coached my semi-pro team? We went all the way to championship my first year, running NBA stuff, like running college stuff. The coaching staff that I was a part of, they were smart. I was like, oh my gosh, like the way they taught, I was just like, the whole time. So I just felt like, so I ran it, and I'm like, girls can do what men do too. just have to be put in a situation or put in a room to be exposed to it. And women can run it just as good as the men do.
Yeah.
And we were running it. Like we were running when we ran our plays and we made it, like they look sweet. I was like, oh, we look good, So it was a couple times this year we ran some things and people were like, oh, look at that. Like they just executed perfect. And I'm like, these freshmen don't even know that they run a play from LSU.
That's what's up.
Like they don't even know that like they just executed it in perfection. And I just watched it on TV the other day. Like, so that was the gratifying kind of thing about it. So
I got a question real quick.
mm-hmm.
Coach Harper.
Yeah.
We had her on the show, right? And Coach Harper was telling me how in practice she can be a little bit of a maniac from time to time. Can you confirm that?
Passion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's a hooper. Like I'm like such a woman's woman. Like I always wanted to like work for a woman coach because I just feel like, we just have so much passion and, I don't know, but I thought it was passion.
Okay.
I truly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, Coach Harper, and I'd be like this. I bet you're gonna make that layup next time, huh? So she just has so much passion in her. I mean,
I could feel
she
it.
knows what she's talking about. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I have come across some coaches that, to the naked eye, they'd be like, oh, but I'm like, nah. They just passionate and they know they stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like when you have coaches like that, the level of perfection, like you want a coach like that.
Mm-hmm.
You want a coach that strives for that perfection element, even though it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to game time, it's a no-brainer. And you can see in her teams, like you can see that, like the passion and the perfection in her coaching a little bit. It's like she knows exactly how she wants that thing to look, and she's going to keep running it until she sees it. And then, okay, we're done. Keep it moving. So, no, just very passionate. Like I can't say that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, she's a great player.
Yeah. So I was also like, when she got the job, I was like, wow. Hey, like there's just the opportunities, open so many doors for me. It's just like, wow, I saw you when you were in the W. For me, I'm a little starstruck. I'm trying to keep my cool. Like, yeah, I'll help you out. What's up? So yeah, it was nice.
So from being at Coppin and then Dunbar and having those both sides coaching, would you say kind of was more like the difference from coaching men to women?
It's hard to say. Men naturally have the discipline to just want to go in there and be competitive. But the women naturally have the mindset to want to learn, which strikes us to be very observant and very, like we can get this demeanor where like when we learn something and we learn it, we'll take it as our own and try to perfect it and be like, just as a player, like, how can I say this? Like men are naturally competitive, but so are we to a certain extent. Like, but we are like so disciplined and like want to learn and want to get better. And like we strive to have like that perfection where like men kind of naturally have it a little bit. But I can say that working with men and women, the women were less emotional. Like they were really less emotional. They wanted to get the job done because they had something to do after practice. Okay, like I have a nail appointment or something, so let me go in here, practice, do the best version of myself, and let's keep it moving. Like working on the men's side, I was like, oh, you're a little emotional. Like y'all know how to cut it on and just ball out and play, but I'm like, okay, you're a little worse than females. Like,
Oh, well, give me some examples.
it was just like white, like oh, but they would just come in and execute it. Like, I don't know. I just, even working at Dunbar, the girls were just very, like, we knew we had a job and we didn't make excuses to they didn't make excuses to get the job done. Like even if they the hardest part was just being there. Once we got over that, oh my God, I'm here, be dialed in. But I noticed with the guys, they be oh. And it takes them a while and then they get started. And I'm like, oh, y'all a little emotional. Y'all really don't want to, y'all just want to play. You don't really like practice. So
Yeah. You know what I heard? I heard that the guys, because they are very athletic, they're more athletic than a woman, that they don't have to focus on the details as much, where the women are very detail oriented and they'll just do it like you just said, as it's told, because that's kind of how they only want to operate. Where the guys, they might try to remix it and jazz what you're doing just because they can get away with it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of where little attitude came from. Man, why I gotta do it like that? I could do it like this. Or, because men are so just naturally athletic, they just kind of practices would be long because they would divvy away from the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And women, I felt if you gave them a timeline of practice, you're gonna move through that timeline of practice because we're just here okay, we got it. Okay, we got it. We can keep it going. So I think that was kind of the difference.
Yeah, definitely seeing, just watching women's basketball, they're definitely more technical than the men's side. Far as making certain moves, even to the jump shot, elbow locked in, L shape, following through, everything was a lot more technical than on the men's side. So from your experience of playing, what are some of the principles that you wanted to give to your players today?
I kind of have a different journey. So I tore my ACL multiple times, and I didn't have a plan B.
Damn.
So I kind of I got into coaching by accident, and I tell this story all the time. I mean, of course, there's a plan, but I literally got into coaching by accident. So kind of just my experience looking back, take it, if you really want to play basketball, take it serious. I happened to be one of those kids that was naturally athletic, naturally could pick up the game, kind of naturally good at it. And I also had this really bad attitude, you weren't going to beat me kind of thing. So I felt that combo alone kind of made me extra strong. Nothing was going to happen to me a little bit. I didn't have to work out as much. I wouldn't have to go to those skill practices as much because I knew when I got in the gym, as soon as I seen who was checking me, she wasn't going to be able to do nothing. I just had a demeanor like that. And it carried me far until it didn't. Tore my ACL. And I tore it at a Nike championship tournament in Michigan at the time. Word traveled fast that I got hurt. And I tried to prove myself nah, I'm not hurt in front of Georgetown. Georgetown at the time was where I wanted to go to school. And this girl did a little crossover. She ain't crossed me up, but I didn't know I didn't have no ACL. So that's what it looked like. She crossed me up and I failed.
Damn.
But when I fell, I couldn't get back up. I actually had tore it during a summer league game that I had no business playing in. Then kept playing, hurt it again. Tried to shake it off, hurt it again. To the point where I had to get a full reconstruction. But in the midst of that, I didn't take all the things that probably could have prevented that serious. My father would be you need to go practice. You need to go work out. And my ego was just so, why? Because when I go play, what's her name? What's she going to do? But I played like that. So my ego got me in trouble a little bit. So my advice is do those extra things. Always work on your game. Always be in the gym. Because I was there until I wasn't. And then when I wasn't, I was gone. And then I didn't exist anymore. And that was just so hard to bottle because I went from getting boxes of letters to nothing like that. Like literally nothing. And that was such a humbling experience. And all I could think about is, well, what if I had gone to those workouts to strengthen my leg a little bit more? What if I had gone to those extra workouts so that I could feel more comfortable doing something that could have avoided it? Like all those things popped into my mind.
Mm.
And then I didn't know what else I wanted to do. Because I had this plan that I was going to be the first girl for Cover Girl, wearing my lip gloss and a WNBA. That was it. And I was going to go play over there where Monica played. That's all I knew, from 11 basketball.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know where she was, but I was going to be there. Like that was
USC.
my mindset. And it just disappeared. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do when the doctor told me, like, this is probably going to be it for you. Like, I spent more time trying to heal from my knees than I was on the court. And although my mind was strong and my mind was like, oh, I can get out there, my knees. And I was getting older. I'm like 22. Like, I didn't have a plan B. So like my advice is like, you got those parents and them coaches pushing you to do that, like do it. Like do all that. I mean, some things are just inevitable, but at least you won't have those regrets that maybe I could have did something better. Maybe I should have took those classes to set me up for this. I just kind of was real mainstream. And I probably had people telling me that, but probably people that I didn't feel, other than my father, worthy of listening to.
Mm.
So if you got someone in your corner, like trying to be like very positive and looking out for you, like some advice is not always good advice, but like pay attention to it a little bit, because I went from like deciding between Drexel and Memphis to nothing. And if it wasn't for my high school coach putting together like an open run, I didn't know how I was going to get to college and play basketball. I ended up in Garden City because of her.
Yeah.
And then when basketball was over, I just had no idea what I wanted to do. So it's like, set yourself up for success. Like, yes, strive for your end goal, but have like a plan B and plan C. Because like, even though this is your end goal, you may not be playing. That doesn't mean you won't still be in the field, or you won't still be doing something aligned with it, or you may be going on that journey, but then you find out that you actually like doing something else and you can pivot here. But like, have that end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like playing professionally is just one speed bump, but then like that comes to an end too. So like, what do you like to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be like, I don't know what I was gonna do, but yeah, if it wasn't for one of my high school coaches, like, you're like being depressed and lazy, like stop feeling sorry for yourself, come help me coach.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I don't want to coach. I want to play. Like, I don't want to. Like, I had the worst attitude about what has now become like my purpose in my journey. Like, it's just so wicked to me. But
no, that's beautiful. I think a lot of us go through that transition period. Both of us got injured playing overseas, and he speaks for himself. But that transition period was a monster.
Yes, it definitely
And
was.
it took, some people think, oh, it'd be a 3-month, 6-month span. Nah, I'm talking about years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of anger that comes into that. And people that don't play ball don't really understand, right? And so they're like, why are you rolling around angry? And you're like, dog, you just don't know.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since I was a little jit. And now, like, I've been doing this. Imagine if, like, I used to tell folks, like, yo, imagine your workplace. You've been a doctor for 15 years, and then they just took your license and told you couldn't be a doctor.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It just happened so young, and that's definitely a tough transition. So that was good advice right there. So let's get into women's sports in general, right? Talk to me about who's your favorite coaches, who's your favorite players, whether that's in the WNBA or college?
Okay. Right now I am like, and have been since she was at Baylor, Kim.
Kim Mulkey.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't like Kim.
She's just unapologetic. Like she got her own little swag.
Mm-hmm.
She do her own little thing. She's like coached some like really good players. Like I love Dawn. I don't get me wrong. Like I love everything. Like I love what those coaches and all the coaches are doing for women's basketball. But she just kind of, she's just kind of got like this demeanor about her. Like I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I like it, you know, like watching. Sometimes they field in practice, and she be in there with her cowboy boots, like running practice, and I'm like, yeah, I just feel like I want to be like that too. Like in there, like blowing my whistle with my boots on, and they're like, "What is going on?" But it's not. It's like the madness of the passion of the game, you know. Like I thought about something. Let's have practice, you know. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that you get to see like the uncover version of her a little bit. I feel like a lot of coaches like always want you to see like the well put version of themselves, but like I said, like I was watching someone and she was there, no makeup on, did her hair like this, and she was walking around and she had on cowboy boots, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I like that, you know. So
you know what's crazy? I love, like last year their team was good, right? But I love that they lost two really good players. And to me, I felt like they was in the way of the other two folks, like Flage and Moreau, and what's my girl, Michaela?
They hooping right now.
They nice. You know what I mean?
First of all, I didn't even know Flage was that big. I'm like, oh.
What?
She like now I'm seeing her. I'm like, oh, she like a big body girl. I'm like, good for her.
Boosie. Well, I don't know if she related to Boosie, but Boosie be they tight. So she be rapping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But she is nice.
Yeah, she is.
And she's so like her game is so consistent. It's just like it's crazy because, to your point, now I really see it. I couldn't see it before. You know, I just knew. I kind of looked at her like 6-man. You know, like you come and do. But now I'm like, oh,
they was in her way last year, in my opinion.
Right. Like a lot of them are right. Like,
what other players you like to watch?
I love Paige.
Okay.
I love Juju. My daughter loves Juju. She's like, I'm going to wear my hair like Juju. I'm like, okay. So she wear her little bun just like Juju. And she's like, how many points did Juju score? Okay, I'm gonna score what Juju scores. So, but I kind of like all the players of like the position that I played a little bit.
What position did you play?
So what's crazy is here in PG County, I was like a stretch 2-4 because I was like an in between height. Like I've been like this height for like a while. So I was kind of big, but then I knew how to dribble and I could shoot. I had good court vision. But when I went to college and I saw all the 6'8", so, you know, I became a point guard.
Okay.
But because of all the positions I got to play back home, it wasn't a hard transition for me a little bit.
So are you more of like a pure point guard, or you want to shoot that thing?
I was known for shooting.
Okay.
Like I could shoot. Like I was known for that. Like a lot of the clips that I was like seen of myself, all shooting. Like so.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
Yeah, so kind of embodied that. And then like when I shoot around in practice, they be like, "I want Coach Breanna." Yeah, like I shoot with them, and they're like, "Oh, you really can hoop?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Can you still shoot?
Oh yeah, I shoot with them all the time.
Hey, we gotta have a shootout competition right quick, because he is a shooter. Hey, I think we need to have a shootout competition.
No, shoot. Yeah, I'm with them. I try to work out with them all the time. So I'm not one of them coaches that point the finger. I want to like show you that I can do it. So that's why I was like, I'm kind of healthy a little bit. You know, trying to stay in the mix. And my other favorite player, she just retired. Diana Taurasi.
Oh yeah, that's the GOAT.
When I talk about how my personality was, like how I was a butthole or like
an asshole.
Yeah, like she just did not care. And I love that, but it carried her so far and you could never question her game. And that's just why I loved her so much because I felt like you weren't going to be able to question my game. And yes, it may have come off like this little girl, but I was going to drop my 10 and have my steals. You know, I was going to do my part so we could win, you know, and maybe at a young age that was the wrong demeanor to have. But I love Diana. I used to wear my hair like her and everything, low, mid, bun. There were no baby hairs back then, so that was locked in. All the way, gel, everything.
So did you think her criticism of Caitlin Clark when she came in the league was accurate, or you think she was doing too much?
In between.
In between.
I mean,
would you have done it?
No.
No. Okay.
Because I just think I'm a little bit more grounded. I'm not like fiery, spicy like that.
Did you want to be spicy like that?
Sometimes, no, I could get there, but
okay.
I'm just like, you know.
All right.
I think it's just the competitiveness.
Okay.
You know, like how this girl gonna come? You know how what I've been doing here? She just gonna come in here. You know, I think it was kind of that.
Yeah.
You know, which men. The crazy thing is, men do it too. You know, there has been a lot of conversation of men doing it, but the moment the women do it, we catty and being sassy. I'm like, did you not see what they said about LeBron or like his son or what they were saying about such and such? Like they've been talking about. Like, are we not watching the same ESPN? You know, so I'm like, I just took it like, oh, they just try. I took it like it was like the competitiveness, and then I took it like you're trying to push the Caitlyn narrative to where no matter what someone says, it's gonna be like they're hating. But I took it like she a vet and she had to work hard. And I don't think that she's not appreciative of what's transpiring for women's basketball. It's just like, dang, like I think it was kind of just like, so what we did wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Kind of. You know, that's how I would have taken it. Like, it's like when we're at the school and we playing on the raggedy floor, and then as soon as we leave, they get the floor redone. And it's just like, dang, like, how come we couldn't get this floor in locker room? Like, we the ones that helped pay for it. Like, so I think if I could say the similarity in that, maybe that's where it came from, you know, like, how come we couldn't get the new floor when we was here balling out and raising all this money to get here, you know? So
you know what's crazy? You just said that. I didn't experience that on every level. High school, Gonzaga. We won the first city title at Gonzaga, both of us.
wow.
And like they're Nike down, new core. I mean, just nationally ranked.
Yeah.
If you just play at Gonzaga, you just gonna get recruited from a big school. Then college, we went to the tournament twice.
Okay.
Same deal, locker rooms, all this stuff. They, you know. And then I just seen the kid. Remember Prentice Hub? Played at Gonzaga. Played at Notre Dame.
Prince Hub.
Okay, lefty. So he's overseas right now, and he was playing in Germany, in Würzburg. And when we played, we had that rubber court.
Yeah.
And I just seen it, and literally it's a wood court. And I was just like, damn. Like, damn. The stuff that's going on now, I don't hate on it. I just wish I could have participated in a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where she was coming from, you know, like now. And I know, like, and I think in her mind, she knew she was probably going to retire soon. You know, it's just like, really? You know, now I done put all this, like, I think that's where it was coming from. And she wasn't lying either. Like, college and WNBA is a transition, you know, like just any transition, middle school to high school to whatever, you know. I just think because she already has that persona about her, it came off like, oh, she hating. I'm like, if you really know Diana, that's probably it's probably a good thing, you know, like, because she could have said nothing, you know, she could have been like, and walked off, you know, which says a lot more than saying words at all. So
exactly.
So let me ask you, let's get into women's fashion, right? I see a lot of women on the sideline, coaches, and they is jazzed up at the game, right? They in suits, you know. Some people say it's a distraction. right? And then some people love it. What's your opinion on it?
I think the fashion brings a certain femininity to the game because
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, women associated with sports, you get a certain stereotype,
Mm-hmm.
and it's no secret to that. Um, and I think like now, like girls can wear like lashes and they can do stuff to kind of present a femininity that back then kind of wasn't conducive to the game. Like anybody putting on lashes to go play a basketball game. Like the most we had was a nice Carmax gloss, and we kept it moving, you know. So I think it's bringing a certain femininity to it. I personally, I get hot when I'm coaching. So when the quarter zip thing came out, I thought that was the greatest thing. It takes, and like the type of woman that I am, like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And that takes too much time away from the goal. And the goal is to win the game.
Mm.
And I get hot. Like I dressed up for the championship last year and I was burning up, like walking around. My pinky toes was going numb in the shoe. I'm trying to argue with the refs, and all I could think about is I'm gonna twist my ankle because these shoes, you know, like for me it was a distraction.
Yeah.
And the whole year I got crucified for wearing a Jordan sweatsuit, Nike sweatsuit, or wearing workout clothes. But that was where I was most comfortable, you know. Like I was very comfortable wearing my Nike sweatsuit and my shoes coaching. Like wearing all that stuff, I was like hot. I was burning up, and I was distracted. I'm like, I'm gonna take this. I can't. All the clinging. Like there was some videos where I was taking my stuff off and throwing it because I'm like, what? You know, for a photo op and all the pictures you got of me looking like this anyway. So it's like, it didn't matter. So when the whole quarter zip came out and you could wear like nice joggers, I was like, I'm in heaven. Like, let's keep it simple and keep it moving. So, I mean, I get it. And then I don't get it. You know, I get it. Like, okay, you want to look nice, but like, I want to I like looking like the rest of the team. Like we here to hoop, you know, and we can get cute after. Like I'll put on the outfit when I'm doing my interviews, but like right now, I don't know. So I mean, I get it, but
so you more like how Don Staley get down,
yeah.
Right? But Kim Mulkey, you know, Kim Mulkey coming that joint like it's Easter Sunday.
I know, that's why I'm like, I love it, you know, but like, but then there's like some coaches they go out.
I know. They be
like
on
they
Instagram,
on a corporate
reels.
meeting,
Like,
and I'm like, yes, girl. But for me, I don't even like when I go out. I wear stuff like this, and it's not conducive to the event at all. But I'd rather be comfortable than me sitting there being antisocial because my ankles hurt, and you got me walking around everywhere trying to talk. So. I mean, I get it. Like I said, I get it, and then I'm just
your
like,
style, but you accept it. You like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that. I love that because I watch the women's game a lot, and I watch it with my kids, right? And so we'll be sitting there watching it, and my daughter, like one of the first things she said, we started watching it 2 years ago. She was like, "Oh, I like her makeup." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You 5? What are you talking about?" But it got her engaged, right? And I love, like you said, unfortunately, there is a stereotype that comes with women's sports, and you have to be a certain way. But I love the femininity that's coming with it. Like people criticize Angel Reese a lot, but I love that she brings the girly out.
Exactly. You know? Like I don't think that you have to like dumb down your femininity just because you're playing a sport. Yeah. Like I could wear my quarter zip and slacks, but as long as my lashes popping, lip gloss good, and my hair laid, my nails good, I feel just as flashy as the coach that's wearing the outfit. You know, like
exactly.
I was kind of happy about that because I'm like, yeah, not all women. You know, we don't have to present ourselves that way. We can still be very feminine and still be very girly and still give you that work, you know. So I think it was a healthy balance, if you ask me. Like
they always say, I read in this book that is this and that, not this or that. When you think about just decisions in life, so I love that.
Yeah. So, far as the women basketball is definitely the trajectory is out the roof. So what do you think that like what just kind of needs to happen is just keep going in that flow?
I just truly think that people just need to embrace where it's going, right? Like just embrace it. Like now you have more people attending this because this is how I feel. I just feel like when it comes to women in sports or women doing anything, you always have to associate it with like sex. Like you gotta like show a certain body part for you to be interested.
Hmm.
Like in no shade at all. But
True.
like the women on the ESPN shows, right? They all have to look a certain way. And you're like literally watching it because she bad, right? I don't even think you're paying attention to anything she's saying. Her hair is laid, she got the nice little V cut, and you're like, she is
She got the heels on.
yeah,
the
you know, and then she
dress
started
on.
walking, the calf muscles popping.
Oh my
And now
God.
all of a sudden you like NASCAR. You never NASCAR before.
Yes.
So I just feel like embrace where it's going now, because now we're breaking past that, and you're starting to watch the young ladies for their talent and not for the screen door. You know, like, oh, that's a nice door. That's it. Now you're like, oh, I want to see what's, you know, like, oh, she actually knows what she's talking about. Oh, she can actually hoop. You know, she's actually like, you have like players like Kaiser, like breaking into like the fashion industry. Like, it just gives you a different association to the women. Like they're not just basketball players, and you're not just category, you know, putting them in categories, or because they don't wear makeup in the game, you're just automatically assuming left. If you get where I'm going with that.
Yep.
Well, she ain't doing that, so she probably whole time she got a husband and like 6 kids. You know, like the privacy that women, I think it just embrace where it's going. You know, like now we're seeing these women for who they are. We're actually now you see all women analyst panels talking about the game. Like there's no man in the middle. Like now you have to listen to the opinion of the women. There is no man like interjecting it, and you're just like, oh, okay, she said the same thing Tim said, but I'm gonna listen to what Tim said because Tim been doing it longer. Now you got all women doing it. So I think we just need to keep embracing it, because like everything is going to come to like cycles is going to come to a halt. So we need to like embrace it and keep pushing it while it's hot right now, because there's some more talent coming, you know. And if it took for Angel Reese to do that, hey, you know, I like it. You know, Bayou Barbie, right? Yeah, I like all of it. She a music video. You don't see WNBA. You don't see women in sports doing stuff like that. You know, like she in a lotto video.
It's like the 90s. To me, it's like the NBA in the 90s. Like it gave me that same feel where it was up and coming. You starting to see dudes break out in movies, dudes break out in like you just said, music videos, starting to do different things, and you getting to see their personality a little bit more. So I feel that same wave with the WNBA right now, and women's in college sports too.
Yeah, like they got shoes. You got been in the NBA wearing the women's shoes. What you think that's going to do for the little girls that now they don't have to wear Jordans or Kyries. They can wear the Ajas or the Pages. Like I'm wearing my Pages. You know, like that just has such a better, for me, like my daughter's wearing the Sabrinas.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, my shoes is nice. You know, like she's like, the girl was like, I like your shoes. She said, I got my Sabrinas on. And I'm looking like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like, okay, you wearing the Sabrinas, you know. Next thing I know, her teammate has the Sabrinas. So it's just the ripple effect of that, you know. So, yeah.
So we always ask, right? So give you a scenario. 10 seconds left on the clock. We need a bucket. What's your go-to move?
Oh, there's this play I took from LSU.
I want you as a player. You gotta give it to us.
Oh, as a player for me?
Player.
10 seconds left?
10 seconds left.
I'm going for the and one free throw. Like I'm driving in. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna waste the clock. I'm gonna go in.
Where you want the ball at? The top, the left, right?
It don't matter. I had like a nice little crossover. And I just knew how to get there. And I
Okay.
had like this little layup where I could bend back and like I always made it. I don't know.
Hold on. Explain that. Bend back. You going
So
like this and then
I
you.
would go down and I would give the impression that I'm going to go under and I would take a step back and bend back and make the
Okay.
layup.
Okay.
And I know they're going to foul me. And I was like really good at free throws. So I got the and one.
Okay. So you was going downhill.
I always attack first.
So when you going left to right, right to left?
I mean, wherever she's swaying. I
Okay.
mean, I could go. I mean, I played point guard. I played the 2. I played the 3. So I had the range I had to pull up. I could shoot the 3 if I wanted to. But I like to attack because I was a bigger guard. So I knew I was getting fouled regardless.
Okay.
And I was really good at finishing around the rim. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So from a coaching standpoint, what you running in that scenario?
Well, I actually had this happen to me.
Okay.
I ran a play that I took from LSU.
Okay.
And it worked. And it's like 3 girls are lined up, and then one is taking the ball to bounds.
Okay. So where they at when you taking the ball out of
So they're
bounds?
right on the block, right?
So behind the basket?
So the basket's right here. They're like right here.
Okay. Got you.
And my center is in the middle of the 2 guards.
Okay.
And what happens is,
Where's the other player?
so I have 3 right here. I have the point guard taking it out, and then I have a distraction in the back.
Just all the way in the back, like 3-point
So
line?
like they're right here.
Yep.
She's like right here.
Okay.
Okay.
She's the distraction because any typical coach is going to think they're going to throw it to her, right? So if she runs, clearly we're looking for her.
Right.
But no, the play was to throw it to the center and the center tap it back to the point guard as she steps in and she goes in for the layup. So I took that from LSU and it worked tremendous. So we ran that play and the girl ran. And of course, they pick up like, oh, we got to get her. And then the 2 players close in. So they're waiting to try to figure out where the ball's going. They throw it up, not knowing that it's coming to the center. She jumps up and taps it.
To the person inbounding.
To the person inbound. So she just steps in. So the basket's right here. She just steps in. There goes the layup.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it from LSU. I said, ooh, I know what we about to do. And it was so crazy because it worked. She ran it like 3 times and just switched to people doing it. And it was like no one caught on to the fact that like, and yeah, we ended up scoring right before we went into halftime being up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so we got a little game we play.
Okay.
Either or, you lucked out. There's no ginger today, but you claim healthy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you gotta pick one or the other or both. I think we'll send her some consequences. We'll send you some consequences, right? We'll send you some consequences. All right. Slippery Rock or Coppin State?
Slippery Rock.
Okay. All right. Gino or Don Staley?
Don.
Okay. You went to Don daughter. Okay. Coach Ivy, Notre Dame,
Mm-hmm.
Kim Mulkey.
Wow. Again.
Okay. All right. Flage or my girl Sellers from Maryland with the goggles. That's my girl. Both big body guards.
I had to do both.
Okay.
I like both. I mean, they both bring something different and they both good.
Yeah. I can't wait for that tournament. That's going to be good. All right. Hannah or Malaysia for Wiley?
Malaysia.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. She got like a certain grit.
You just like her mentality.
Hold on. Hannah, is that Notre Dame?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. She's a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be.
I hope they match up this year. Okay. I got one for you. Anisha Monroe, LSU,
Mm-hmm.
or Kiki Efren from USC. Kiki, you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kiki.
Do you love me? Okay. All right. Haley Van Leaf or Azzy Fudd? AZ Fudd.
AZ. AZ.
Okay. Okay.
She's had one heck of a comeback and hooping right now.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She make them contenders for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Olivia Miles or Madison Booker? Madison Booker at Texas. Olivia Miles, the other guard at Notre Dame.
Madison.
Okay. That's a big guard.
Yeah.
Big guard. She
She's
like
like her body frame is crazy.
you see
Like
her, you be like, yo, she don't look like she more athletic than everybody. She be dribbling that joint down the court. She like 6'2".
she has like such a smooth right for her size. I'm
She
like,
can't go left to save her life. But you cannot stop her going right.
Yeah.
And then if you stop her, she got a mean, she jump in the air, pull up.
she reminds me of that point guard from Alabama. He only go left. Like he only goes left, but no one in the world can stop him. And it's like the same kind of thing. It's just like, what the heck? Like,
Okay.
so yeah.
Paige or Juju?
I just talked about them. I would do both.
Okay. So I got two boths. Keeping receipts here. Okay. All right. Asia Wilson or Candace Parker?
If I'm thinking about my era of basketball, Candace Parker.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I got one more for you. Okay. Respect or loyalty?
Respect.
Respect, okay. Respect or love?
Respect.
Okay. That was good. I think I asked you like 12 questions. Two boths. I'll text you the we're gonna get some. We're gonna do it with you. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna do it with you. So, all right.
All right, so we definitely at the end of the interview, always at the end, we want to give you the floor to to say any remarks to any coaches, young athletes, any encouragement. We want to give you the floor um, to close it out.
I would talk to the players a little bit. And I kind of said this, I spoke on a panel, and it was about like your friendships. And I've noticed that like a lot of kids kind of fumble with like trying to pursue their dream and then still be with their friends. And I just feel like you're going to meet the friends you're supposed to be friends with when you get where you're going. Like you can't be afraid to lose certain friendships that aren't helping you achieve your goal. Those are kind of like blockages and they get in the way. And the good friends will see that you're trying to achieve a goal and they will help you do it. I have seen a lot of kids try to figure out, well, I really got to be here for my friend, but then they're letting their team down and they're a big part of their team. And that causes a ripple effect. But if you had a true friend, they will understand that like, it's okay. You have a bigger thing to accomplish and I need you to go accomplish that. I think choosing your friends wisely is very important because I think a lot of young kids thrive off of their friendships. So to players and you know kids diving into sports and they're worried about missing out, you're not missing out on anything that you won't see where you get when you're going. And then when you get where you're going, it's probably going to be a lot better than what you think you're missing out on because you'll be with relatable people. You'll be with people that are in the same, eating at the same table you are. instead of, trying to figure out and look behind you, trying to figure out if the people who aren't in your lane are catching up with you. Like, you don't have to let nobody in your lane if you don't want to. Just how when you're driving, if someone doesn't put a blinker on, you don't got to let them over. So keep steady on your journey and don't worry about things that you think you're going to miss out on, because when you get where you're going, you'll find out you didn't miss out on anything, because over there it's a lot better. So.
Oh man, that was a keynote right there. You know, not just for kids, adults.
Yeah.
You know, that I felt that on 1,000%. So now, thank you for that. And as always, definitely thank you for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
absolutely.
We had
Thank
a good
you.
time.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Make sure you guys comment, like, share, and subscribe.
And always stay game related.